Not everyone has the capacity to support what they do not understand. Your growth may have challenged their comfort. Your ambition may have highlighted areas that they chose to avoid. And instead of rising with you, they stayed where they felt familiar. For some, support requires maturity that they have not yet developed. It is easier to doubt than to grow, easier to stay silent than to show up. Their absence was never a reflection of your worth. It was never because you lacked ability. It was never because you were not ready. It was because they saw what you were capable of becoming. And they believed that they stood above you, more respected, more established, more secure in their position. And they wanted to keep it that way. Because in their mind, your growth meant their decline. So instead of standing beside you, they chose to suppress you. They withheld encouragement. They withheld guidance. They withheld even the simplest acknowledgement. Not because they could not give it, but because they feared what would happen if they did. They knew your potential. They saw your discipline, your intelligence, your ability to evolve. And they understood something that they did not want to admit. If you were supported, you would rise. And if you rose, you would surpass them. So they tried to keep you where you were. They wanted you to feel alone, to feel unsupported, to feel as though your path was not possible. But what they intended for limitation became your refinement. Because instead of breaking, you built quietly, consistently, and without applause. As it is written in Galatians chapter 6, verse 9, let us not grow weary in doing good, for in due season we will reap if we do not give up. So you continued, even when no one clapped, even when no one advised you, even when no one believed in what you were doing. And over time, you became the very thing that they feared. Growth. While they remained the same, comfortable in stagnation, unwilling to change, and afraid to evolve. But you became the symbol of transformation. Every time they saw you, there was something different. You were stronger, sharper, more refined, and that unsettled them because they realized something quietly devastating. You were moving forward without them, and the authority that they believed they had was never real. It was built on perception, not substance. It is written in Luke chapter 16, verse 10, whoever can be trusted with very little can be trusted with very much. You proved yourself in silence, in discipline, in consistency, and now, whether they admit it or not, the position that they tried to protect was never theirs to keep. Because leadership is not claimed, it is revealed. And what they tried to prevent has already begun. I'd like to end this message with a parable. A man once stood on a small hill, believing that it made him taller than everyone around him. Below him stood another, quietly working the ground, digging, planting, and building. The man on the hill refused to help. He feared that if the one below grew strong, he would no longer appear elevated. So he offered nothing. No tools, no guidance, no encouragement. Seasons passed, and the man below continued his work, unseen and unsupported, until one day, what he built beneath him rose higher than the hill itself. And the man who once stood above found himself looking up. The lesson: some people withhold support not because you are incapable, but because they recognize your potential. They fear that your growth would challenge their position. So they choose preservation over integrity. But true elevation does not come from being placed above others. It comes from what you build within yourself. When you continue without support, you develop a strength that cannot be given or taken away. And in time, what you build in silence will speak louder than anything they tried to withhold. And that's it for this message. I'd like to thank everybody who made it to the end of the video. I'm truly honored by your support. If this message resonated with you at all, please consider dropping a comment, giving me some feedback, hitting the like button, and subscribing. It's been Chris Anisti, and until next time, take care, and God bless you.